Hi everyone! My name is Alyssa and I'm the teaching artist with BMCYF's Space to Create program. And today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make some Halloween masks. So we're going to be making some masks and I'm going to be doing a witch. So you could either do a witch with me or you can create your own mask. So I'll show you what supplies I'm going to be using today and then we'll get started. Alright, so here are the supplies for today. I've got this thicker poster board down here and I'm going to be using that for the base. And then I'm going to be using either a pencil or a pen. I'm not sure what's going to work best to write on this foam yet. And that's going to be to help me cut out my shapes. And then I've got my scissors. I've got this hole puncher, which I'm going to be using to make it so that I can tie this around my head afterwards. So I'll need 2 spots to run some string through. So I have string here, and I'm only going to be using the black string. And then I've got some glitters as well. I'm probably just going to be using the gold glitter. And then I've got my Elmer's glue. And these are all different colors of foam. And so you can get this at a dollar store. They might have it at Walmart as well. And so that's everything I'm going to be using today. So I'm starting out the shape of my mask with this base. And I just found this online and I printed it out. That way it's going to be nice and even on both sides. But you can freehand this as well and just draw your mask. If you use one of these and you download it and cut it out, then all you're going to need to do is outline it. And then you can cut your poster board. The reason why I'm not using this piece of paper as the base of my mask is because the poster board is going to keep it much more firm and so it can stay on your face better. Paper might be a little too flimsy. Once I have this outline, I'm going to take my scissors and cut out this poster board. Once you have the base cut out, you're going to use a piece of foam and cover this. So the base of my mask is going to be green because the witch is going to have a green face. So what I'm going to do is the same process as I did with that piece of paper, only now I'm going to be using my base of my mask and I'm going to draw an outline over the foam and then I'm going to cut it out. Then that foam I'm going to glue over the base of my mask. So now I'm going to glue the green foam on so it looks just like this. I'm going to take my Elmer's glue and squeeze it all over and make sure that I cover most of the surface. Then I'm going to take my green foam and I'm going to press it firmly over the base, and that way they adhere together really well. Once that's done, I'm going to let it dry for about 5 minutes. Now I'm going to take my purple foam and I'm going to use the bottom of one of my glitter tubes to create some circles. I'm just going to trace these circles, and I'm going to use those as witch's warts. So I'm going to give her 3 warts on her face. When I finish tracing these, I'm going to cut them out, but I'm not going to put them on the mask and glue them down just yet. So this is kind of how they're going to lay on the mask, but I'm not going to be gluing them down yet. I'm just going to leave them loose because I'm going to keep repositioning them around the face, depending on where other things like the hair and the eyebrows are going to go. To start on the hair, I'm going to be taking my orange foam, and I'm going to be drawing some hair that's going to go on the left side, and then some hair that's going to go on the right side, and it's going to be coming out from underneath the hat. To make the hair even, I'm only going to draw and cut out one side, and then I'll use that side and just trace it, so that way I have 2 even sides. So after tracing and cutting out the other side, this is what I'm going to have so far. So none of these pieces are glued down yet. I want to make sure I don't glue these down until I'm absolutely sure where they're going to go. Now I took the black foam and I cut out a hat. I tried to trace it, but it's kind of hard to trace over the black foam and still see your lines. And then I took the purple foam and I just made a part that's going to go across and be the belt. And then I'm going to use my yellow foam and I'm going to make a buckle on this belt. But first I'm going to glue this purple belt down. Make sure you cover the area that it's going to go really well with glue, because you don't want it to pull back up later. You're going to want to let that dry for about 5 minutes as well. Here's the belt I made, and all I did was create a square, and then I made another square inside of that one. I'm going to start gluing this down, but it's actually easier to glue the other side of this belt buckle and then place it on there. Once the yellow buckle has dried on there, you can now attach this hat to the mask. Again, I'm just going to use a layer of my Elmer's glue to do this. By drawing a line with my pencil across where the hat is going to land, I'll know exactly where to put my glue. I went and created the eyebrows as well, and I did the same thing as I did for the hair, where I created one eyebrow, and then I cut it out and I traced it so that I can make the other eyebrow exactly the same. I'm now going to glue these eyebrows down. Now I can start gluing down all the rest of it, and I'm going to start with the hair. Once everything is glued into place, the next step is going to be adding some glitter to the buckle, but I'm not going to do that until this is completely dried. After waiting about a half an hour for it to dry, I started to move on to the glitter. So what I'm going to do is use my Elmer's glue, and I'm going to completely cover this buckle. Once it's covered pretty thoroughly, I'm going to take my finger and just really make sure that every inch of it is completely covered with glue. Then it's going to be time to start adding some sprinkles of glitter on it. I'm going to coat this as much as I can with glitter. Once I have enough glitter on there, I'm going to wait for that to dry. So now as you can see, it's almost finished, but what I want to do next is punch some holes in the sides so that I can run the string through and be able to wear it around my head. When you punch these holes, make sure you're going through the poster board and the green foam. That way you're going through the base. If you go through the base, it's going to be much stronger. Here you can see that I went through the base. I'll do the same thing on the other side, and then I can start running my string through. I'm going to start out by cutting this piece of string much longer than I'm really going to need, because I'm going to be adjusting it from there. On one side, I'm going to tie this off by tying a knot around. And as you can see, I'm going to be tying this knot, but I'm actually going to move this knot to the other side. That way you're not going to see it. So I'm just going to adjust it like that and then flip the mask around. On this side, I'm going to knot it, and then I'm going to knot it a few more times. That way I make sure that it's not going to fall off. Now the next thing that I'm doing, but you can't really see, is I'm taking it and putting it around my head so that I can determine how wide I need it to be for my head. And I'm going to make sure that I leave a little bit of excess string coming out of the front so that I can use that to tie the knot around without shortening the length of the string. So I found that this is how long I need it to be. So there's this much string that's left over. So I'm going to make a knot with this string. Just like the other side, I'm going to flip this over and move this knot to the other side. That way it's not showing. Once the string is attached, it's all finished. Alright, so here is the completed work. So I've got my mask, and it's got the glitter on it. And you can see that this ties around. And so when you tie it around, it'll mold to your face better. So you can see that it bends now around my face. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Join me next week. We're going to be doing a blackout poetry video, so stay tuned for that. And I hope you guys have a great Halloween. Bye!